The 911 call came in at 4:38 in the afternoon. A witness reported seeing a white van pulled over on the side of Highway 191 near Arches National Park in Utah. The caller said he saw a man slapping a woman. He said it looked like he was trying to take her phone. He said the man hit her. The dispatcher sent 2 officers to the location. What those officers recorded on their body cameras became one of the most watched and most analyzed pieces of footage in recent true crime history. Because 2 weeks after that traffic stop, the woman in the van was dead. Her name was Gabby Petito. She was 22 years old. Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie met as teenagers on Long Island, New York. They started dating in high school. By 2019, they were living together in Florida with Brian's parents. They got engaged in 2020. From the outside, they looked like a young couple building a life together. Gabby worked at a juice bar and posted on Instagram about health and wellness. Brian was quieter, less social, spent time reading and working on art. In July of 2021, they decided to take a cross-country road trip in a converted white Ford Transit van. The plan was to visit national parks and document the journey on social media. Gabby wanted to grow her YouTube channel and Instagram following. She called it a van life adventure. They left Florida on July 6th, made him pull over and call police. He said he saw a man slapping a woman. He said the man appeared to be trying to take her phone and hit her. He said the woman was trying to get into the van and the man was pushing her away. The call was calm but clear. He said he wanted to report it because it didn't look right. Dispatch sent 2 Moab City to the road. They pulled it over. And what happened in the next hour and 17 minutes was recorded on body cameras. Every word, every gesture, every decision. When Officer Robbins approached the van, Gabby was in the driver's seat. She was visibly distressed, crying, hyperventilating. Her hands were shaking. She kept apologizing, over and over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The officer asked OCD, and she was cleaning the van, and Brian wanted to go hiking without her, and he said she started hitting him. He showed the officer scratches on his face and arm. He said she grabbed the steering wheel while he was driving. He said he had to pull over because it was getting dangerous. He said he was trying to de-escalate. He said he was trying to create space. He said he locked her out of the van for a minute because she needed to calm down. He said he loves her. He said she just gets emotional sometimes. The officer nodded. He told Brian he understood. He said it sounded like a tough situation. Back at the van, Gabby was still crying. Officer Robbins asked her if she felt safe. Gabby said yes. He asked if Brian had ever hit her before. She said no. He asked if she wanted to press charges. She said no. She said it was her fault. She said she was the one who hit him. She kept apologizing for wasting their time. She kept saying Brian didn't do anything wrong. Robbins radioed to Pratt. They needed to make a decision. Under Utah law, if there was evidence of domestic violence, someone had to be cited or arrested. The physical evidence showed scratches on Brian. The witness call reported seeing Brian hit Gabby. But Gabby was saying she was the aggressor. The officers talked it over. They decided Gabby was the primary aggressor. They decided not to charge her, but they couldn't let them continue traveling together that night. They decided to separate them. Brian would take the van and get a hotel room. Gabby would stay with the van for the evening. Then they could reunite the next day. The officers thought they were helping. They thought they were doing the right thing. Behavioral experts who later reviewed the footage pointed out details the officers missed. When Gabby described hitting Brian, her body language didn't match her words. She minimized her actions. She over-apologized. She took blame for things that weren't her responsibility. Those are textbook signs of someone in an abusive relationship trying to protect their partner. When Brian described the incident, he stayed calm, too calm. He smiled. He made jokes. He presented himself as the reasonable one trying to manage an unstable partner. Experts call this DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It's a manipulation tactic used by abusers to flip the narrative. Brian portrayed himself as the victim of Gabby's emotional instability, and the officers believed him. They saw a crying, distressed woman who admitted to hitting her partner. They saw a calm, cooperative man with visible injuries. They made their decision based on what they could see in that moment. They didn't see what was happening beneath the surface. The officers gave Brian a ride to a hotel. They told Gabby to stay safe. They told her to reach out if she needed help. Then they left. Gabby and Brian were reunited the next day. They continued their trip. For the next 2 weeks, Gabby posted on Instagram photos of her smiling in front of national parks, captions about adventure and freedom. The posts looked happy, normal. But on August 25th, Gabby's mother received a text from Gabby's phone. It said, "No service in Yosemite." But Gabby wasn't in Yosemite. She was in Wyoming. The text felt wrong to her mother. The phrasing was off. It didn't sound like something Gabby would say. That was the last communication anyone had with Gabby Petito. On September 1st, Brian Laundrie returned to his parents' home in Northport, Florida. He arrived alone in Gabby's van. He did not report her missing. He did not call her family. He did not answer calls or texts from Gabby's parents asking where she was. He hired a lawyer. On September 11th, Gabby's family reported her missing. The Northport Police Department began an investigation. They went to the Laundrie home. Brian refused to speak to them. His parents refused to cooperate. His lawyer released a statement asking for privacy. On September 14th, Brian's parents reported that Brian had left for a hike in the Carlton Reserve, a 25,000-acre nature preserve near their home, and hadn't returned. He had left his phone and wallet at home. He was gone. On September 19th, 2021, the FBI announced they had found human remains in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, near where Gabby and Brian had been traveling. The remains were later confirmed to be Gabby Petito. The coroner determined the cause of death was manual strangulation. She had been dead for 3 to 4 weeks. A massive manhunt began for Brian Laundrie. Search teams combed the Carlton Reserve. Helicopters, dive teams, cadaver dogs. The case became national news. People across the country followed every update. Tips poured in. Possible sightings were reported from Florida to California, but no one could find Brian Laundrie. On October 20th, 2021, Brian's parents joined the search in the Carlton Reserve. They walked to an area Brian was known to frequent. Within minutes, they found a dry bag and a backpack belonging to Brian. Search teams moved into the area. They found human remains. The remains were later identified through dental records as Brian Laundrie. He had been dead for weeks. A revolver was found near the body. The medical examiner ruled the death a suicide. In January of 2022, the FBI released a statement confirming that Brian's notebook had been recovered from the scene. Inside, Brian had written a confession. He admitted to killing Gabby. He claimed it was a mercy killing after she injured herself in a fall. Investigators did not believe that account. The evidence did not support it. But Brian was dead. There would be no trial, no answers. Just a notebook full of lies from a man who ran until he couldn't run anymore. The Moab Police Department launched an internal investigation into the August 12th traffic stop. An independent review found that the officers misidentified the aggressor and failed to properly investigate the domestic violence call. The report concluded that Gabby should have been treated as the victim, not the perpetrator. It noted that the officers did not follow Utah domestic violence protocols. It noted that their decisions that day likely contributed to Gabby's death. The 2 officers involved were placed on administrative leave. One resigned. The other was eventually cleared. The city of Moab settled a wrongful death lawsuit with Gabby's family for $3 million. The Bodycam footage has been watched millions of times. Domestic violence experts use it as a teaching tool. They point to the moments officers missed, the way Gabby blamed herself, the way Brian stayed calm, the way the situation was flipped. They ask viewers to watch again and see what was really happening. Gabby Petito's parents started a foundation in her name. They advocate for domestic violence awareness and support legislation to improve how law enforcement handles DV calls. They want Gabby's story to help others recognize the signs, to understand that domestic violence doesn't always look the way people expect, that victims often defend their abusers, that abusers often appear calm and rational. That 1 hour of body cam footage can reveal everything if you know what to look for. Gabby Petito was 22 years old. She wanted to travel the country and share her adventures with the world. She wanted to build something with the person she loved. She didn't know that the person she loved was the person who would take everything from her. The bodycam footage from August 12, 2021, shows the moment law enforcement had a chance to intervene, and the moment that chance was missed. 2 weeks later, Gabby was gone.